Hey everybody, Corn-Fed Lady here, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing with our Kuni pigs. Now if you've been following us, the past few years we just raised some Berkshires as grow-out pigs for meat. But now we've transitioned over to raising our own pigs, and we've chosen the breed of Kunis. So let me go show you our new breeder pigs, and then we'll talk a little bit about our plans and the projects that we're currently working on to make sure that we get this pig project up to speed. Now we've been keeping our breeder pigs in the tree line here, or what we call the woods. These are our girls, and the boys are over there taking a nap in their house. But they're tucked up in the trees here, and this was to get them through the winter months because it's nice and kind of protected from the wind, from the snow, from all the nasty weather. So we've got our breeders in here currently, but as you can see, they've already knocked down almost all of the greens and grass in here already, except for back here where they use their bathroom. So you see a little tiny bit of green right there. That's just where their toilet is, and they don't eat off of their toilet because pigs are smart. So what we've done temporarily to get these guys back on some fresh green grass is to give them each an expansion paddock on the side of their pig pen. So the boys have an expansion paddock over there. And the girls have an expansion paddock over there. So they do get to go out on green grass sometimes while supervised, but we want to let them be able to have access to green grass 24/7. So these pigs are getting ready to make a move. Okay, so out here on the back acre, we have what used to be our old Berkshire pig paddock, where we would start the Berks off to grow them out for meat. And as they kind of ate all the grass in the first paddock, we'd move them to the second paddock and to the third paddock until they had grown full size for butchering. But we're changing things up a little bit with our Kuni breeders. So as you can see, we already moved the pig house from this first paddock over to the second paddock, and we have actually disassembled this first paddock. It's no longer going to be used for pigs. We're repurposing this for something else on our farm. So as you can see in that clip, we got this first pig house moved right here into this paddock, which we're going to put the boys in. We still need to set up their water barrel and kind of touch things up a little. And once we get theirs done, we're going to move on to the girls' paddock, which we're actually going to have to build a shelter for because it doesn't have one yet. Because like I said, we were using this for Berkshires, and they were actually just using all three of these paddocks together. So they only needed one house and one water up at the front. Like I said, we did move this house over into this area for the boys, and we're just going to build a new house in this area for the girls. So these paddocks out here in the pasture, they'll be able to stay in through the summer. They'll have access to all this fresh green, which is quite larger than the paddocks that they're in now, which have like no green in them anyway. And we'll also be able to put in a couple of wallows and some shade cloths so that they can just kind of enjoy the sun and the pasture during the summer months. And then of course, once this grass dies down and it starts getting colder for the winter, we'll move them back over into the protection of the woods or the tree line over there to their winter paddocks. So they'll be rotating depending on the season from their winter paddocks to their summer paddocks. And these pigs will be old enough to breed in about December of this year. So the end of this year, we're going to be breeding those coonies. And by the spring, we should have some babies. Now, once we've had them bred, they'll move in here. The girls will move in here to have their babies. We still need to clean these stalls out. This is going to be a while from now. They won't get to breed until, like I said, about December of the end of this year. So they won't be having their babies until the spring of next year. But we're going to let them have their babies in these stalls before we move them out to the pasture to grow out. Now, once those babies move out of the barn stalls, they're going to need somewhere to grow out to full size. So we plan on moving these couple of vehicles up to the front part of the property where we kind of cleared out already up in here. And this whole back section, all the way over to the fruit tree orchard, is going to be one large grow out pen for our meat herd. And we're actually planning on splitting it down the middle and putting a gate in the middle. That way they can graze on one half until it kind of gets worn out and beat down, and then we can open the gate, move them to the other half so they can graze on that while the first half heals, and they can go back and forth as needed. So they're always on fresh grass. And like I said, these breeders, they'll be rotating between their summer paddocks and their winter shelters. Well, that's going to about do it for today's pig video. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not yet subscribed, please consider clicking that subscribe button below so that you can follow along in our journey to self-sustainable pork. Y'all have a good one. Bye.